Yo, what up, homies? It's me, Cynicalex, and today I have a bunch of stuff that I want to cover with you guys that's kind of unrelated, and it's just important news and new events that you may or may not have been aware of, and news and kind of community reactions, and also some stuff related to previous videos. So if you haven't been keeping up to date with all the videos, this first part might not make a lot of sense. But to start it off, thank you guys for watching all of the content lately. I have been loving the reaction and the support from you guys, so I just wanted to throw a little kissy at you. Secondly, from the free-to-play video top 10 energy farmable characters, yes, some of you in the comments were absolutely correct. Hats off to you, salute. Why was War Machine on there but Winter Soldier was not? They're both using their Infinity Ward uniforms, yada yada yada. Guy, YouTuber doesn't know anything about the game. You're right, I was wrong. It happens. I'm only human. Basically, the thought that I was, just to give you a really quick rundown, the thought that I was going through when I was making the list was, well, I definitely want to highlight how amazing Angel and Human Torch are, and they both don't really need their uniforms to function. And then I was thinking, okay, well, who else can make this top 10 list without really needing a uniform? Because the spirit of energy farmable, you're talking like really new players, and you're also talking players that don't have a lot of resources, i.e. money or crystals, obviously free to play, so they have to invest all of their energy more carefully. And so with that taken into consideration, War Machine was pretty much one of the only characters that I stressed needed his uniform. All of the other characters that I mentioned, Loki, Wasp, Venom, I mentioned that they don't necessarily need them at all. Well, actually, Venom does need his uniform, but you can farm him and then get his uniform way later because he's garbage at tier 2 without his uniform anyways. So it's more of a support role type thing when you need him for World Boss Ultimate. But besides those two, I didn't really consider any of the other ones. Additionally, for those of you that mentioned Captain Marvel, Thor, Spider-Man, Black Panther, all of those characters can be obtained for free without using any energy at 6 stars when you just play the legendary battle associated with the characters. So it really cuts down a lot of the farming, and I really didn't think it was fair to compare those characters to ones that you have to start farming from 0 stars, unless you have tickets, in which case it's a whole different bag. So I just wanted to cover that. I did also cover it in the comment section of that video, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it in person for 2 reasons. One, to improve the communication between us, because I love it when you guys keep me on my toes, and 2, to show you that I'm actually reading the comments, guys. Here's your proof. So moving on to the second one, obviously you can see behind me is the new forum, and I have to say, if you haven't joined the new forum, you definitely should. It's a little bit confusing. You actually have to type stuff in-game in order to get things ready. You have to kind of sync something in-game, and then you go onto the forums, and you actually use your name. So I'm Cynicalex, so my login is Cynicalex. It's pretty cool. You don't use an email address. And the new forums are amazing. They're so much better than Mobrum. There's a really nice little feed here of all of the different posts where we're already at over 100,000, which is amazing. Lots of spam, guys. And then on the left side over here, just above my head, you have all of the different places that are kind of loaded and kind of sectioned off into different sub-threads. So I think this is a really good way of organizing everything. I think it's nice. It's an official forum. This really adds a lot more legitimacy to the online forum. I haven't been really keeping track of whether it's being moderated effectively or not, so some of you guys can maybe let me know. I did see a couple people spamming like one post in every single board, and honestly, I did that kind of shit when I first joined the internet like 15 years ago. More than 15 years ago. Man, it's like almost 20 years ago. Anyways, I went on like a Neopets board, I think, and I just posted one different comment in every single thread that I found. And then a moderator messaged me and said, don't do that, you're spamming. So that day I learned about spamming. There's a little bit of lore for you. So yeah, kudos to the Netmarble people for putting this together. Additionally, you'll be able to find stuff, and there's a bunch of quizzes and events going on right now. Some of them you have to upload videos. So definitely kind of browse through here to find everything that you need. The other thing that I wanted to point out that links to this is there's a post that's gone up on Reddit originally, and now it's on this forum, and it's about the new rumored Ctp of Veteran with some sort of 4th anniversary event. And this information was screenshotted from the Chinese server, and it was then removed from the Chinese server, so I guess it was accidentally preloaded. And as you can see here, we've got some very premium items, one of them being the Ctp of Veteran. We've got some, you know, words here: participants, cost, buy gold. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not going to try and sit here and speculate on what this means. This could literally mean anything. They could have you doing like a reverse gold buy where you pay for gold with crystals, and then you get some special super gold that's a different color, and then you use that gold here. I don't know, maybe you buy, with gold, you buy raffle tickets, and then you have a chance to win, and there's only 1,500 winners. I have no idea. There's really no point in me trying to guess what it means, and so I'm trying to, I'm simultaneously not participating in the rumor mill, and I'm also trying to give you the suggestion, maybe if this is upsetting you, if this is upsetting you, if this is upsetting you, maybe just don't think about it. Really crazy idea, really crazy thought, but we have no idea what Netmarble meant to do with this, and because it's not released yet, it's not finished yet. And so looking at something that's unfinished and trying to guess what it is, and then from those guesses you start having a panic attack, that's your fucking fault, man. You're just being a dumbass. So just don't do that, and just wait and see what it is. And then if it's dog shit, when we see it, we can call it out, and we can we can roast it. But until then, there's just really no point in screaming and running around over what you think is going to happen. Now, of course, this relates to the vault, the collector's vault that was mentioned in a previous patch, the patch for Captain Marvel. So it says there all vaults are closed, and there's a refresh button. So this is going to be something that involves the collector's vault. That's pretty much all I can guarantee. And it may have some sort of refresh function a la the Shield Lab. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. As far as this CTP of Veteran, aka CTP of Voltron, aka, I don't know, what is this, Angry Birds? Honestly, it looks like a bird to me. Can you see it? I can see it. Looks like a bird holding a gem. Apparently, the stats are Guard Break Immunity, Ignore Dodge, Crit Damage, which is basically the CTP of Authority and the CTP of Energy, All Attack, All Defense, which is the CTP of Patience and another CTP that has never existed with All Defense, and then it also has a proc that gives you the Chain Hit Damage from the CTP of Energy, and a Shield, which ignores Cancel and Pierce, which is the CTP of Regeneration, and of course the regular damage proc. So it seems like 3 or 4 different CTPs rolled into one. Again, I have no idea if this is true, and maybe it is true if you just translate the Chinese, but maybe these are just all of the stats that are preloaded onto a CTP based on all of the CTP stats, and then they pick and choose which ones they want and they disable the other ones. We don't know we don't know how they designed this game. I have no idea, dude. I don't actually work for them. Just tell us, Cynicalex. Yeah, okay, I get it. But seriously, take my advice from before. Just don't worry about it, man. When it comes out, if it's good, we'll celebrate it, and I'll give you all my tips. And if it's bad, I'll give Netmarble my tip, and we'll have a good day no matter what. Jumping off, springboarding off of this one, I want to now talk about stuff in game regarding the CTP of Rage vis-a-vis, or I keep saying vis-a-vis, versus the CTP of Energy. And a lot of people were panicking, myself included, that the CTP of Rage is better than the CTP of Energy for every single character, and that does not appear to be the case. Now, it is a small sample size. We had yesterday's Korath ABX, which indicated that a CTP of Energy was still better than a CTP of Rage, which is good. And now today, as we speak, I've had people in my alliance, thank you, you know who you are, testing Magneto, and while they are getting a higher score with a CTP of Rage, it is not that much higher. The top end scorers were getting about 1.5 million with the CTP of Energy, and now with the CTP of Rage, they're getting closer to 1.8 million. So that's a difference of about 200,000 or 300,000 points. But again, it's not what we originally thought. It is still a lot easier to play. It's not totally easy. It's not brain dead easy for specifically Magneto versus other characters because he has all defense down on his second skill and his tier 3 skill. But it may be the case, and again, I'm saying all of these things with the qualitative statement of maybe. I'm not saying guaranteed, but maybe because of how good it is on Captain Marvel, the CTP of Rage, we kind of preemptively assumed it would be that way for all characters, but maybe it's only that way specifically for her because of the Carol Core 20% buff effect and duration, which has a particularly profound effect on the CTP of Rage as it adds a flat damage buff in addition to flat crit and crit rate and dodge, and it also has the decrease boss's defense, so that 60% decrease goes up to whatever 60% plus 20 is. plus the duration, instead of being 5 seconds, it increased by 30%, which is another like second and a half, almost 2 seconds. And so because of that, it may have amplified the OP-ness, how powerful the CTP of Rage was, and it may be, it's still very good. It's still the #1 ABX CTP for Captain Marvel, and it's still the #1, it appears to be the #1 CTP for Magneto. But if it's not for all of the other characters, and if it's clearly not for existing characters like Korath, it may not be as heavy of a power creep as we thought. So for those of you that are not big spenders, for those of you that are not gamblers, but for those of you that want to maintain high ABX scores, you don't have to quit your alliances, you don't have to panic, you don't have to worry. You will still be roughly where you are. You may drop a few spots here and there because of people gambling intermittently, but it's not going to be, it'll probably be even less of a jump. Think about it, between when we got obelisks and when we got the CTP of energy. So if you survived that jump, jumping from, you know, a 200% damage proc, whatever, to a CTP of energy, you survived that and you're still in an alliance and you're still kicking butt, don't worry, buddy. I believe in you. You have good skill and you can kick ass without these new CTPs of Rage, and I'm with you. I'm behind you. So I wanted to cover that as well, just to give you guys an ongoing update of my feelings, my reactions, and the cumulative information and experience that I'm kind of constantly pulling and polling from people around me that are using them, the CTPs of Rage. Lastly, I want to discuss the bonus mission. Now, this one is expiring very soon, so you definitely want to pick this one up ASAP. Like, if you haven't gotten these yet and you're on the verge of getting them, go and get them. And if you've already finished them and you haven't hit acquire. But more importantly, we have free crystals. Everyone loves free crystals. Oh, everyone loves free crystals. 350 free crystals to be exact, and 20 hidden tickets, and 50 black antimatter, and 50 chaos northstones. I love this bonus mission. This is the best bonus mission ever. You spend energy, which is the most abundant thing, and the cheapest thing to get, and then you get the best thing ever. So big thank you to Netmarble for putting on this bonus mission. I love it. People who are new to the game, do not get used to this. This is not going to happen very often. It'll happen maybe once every 2 or 3 months. It's not a very common occurrence, but other events are with varying rewards. We'll have more energy events with different rewards. We'll have gold events. We'll have crystal events. The crystal events are the ones you want to wait to spend your 6,600 for deluxe missions on. And then, of course, we always have a shit ton of login, daily, weekly, and monthly login events because they just love to give us free stuff. So, with that being said, you've been caught up. My name's Philly D, and yeah. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.